SGA, wala pa nga siya sa NBA no lumipat yung franchise eh.
I mean, I just hated how he went down. That's all.
Oo nga, but why is it gotta be SGA's fault? Anong
Yeah.
No,
ginawa niya?
again, it's not on him. It's not on
No,
him.
you're taking joy and
Tsaka, bakit nadamay si Isaiah Hartenstein
oo
anymore?
nga.
Yeah, I actually like Hartenstein.
Oh.
Oh, ba't ka biglang tumiklop?
No, because he was
Pacers ka, diba?
No, I like him on in the Knicks last year. Nung nasa Knicks pa siya. Yeah. Are we? Oops. Sorry about that.
You are live na. Yes, we know,
Yes,
Jasper.
we are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's why we're dunking on Emil's opinions on basketball.
Yes. Don't worry. Sinadya namin yun.
Baka mamaya may masabing mali si Emil na kunwari, di pala POC si Isaiah Hartenstein. Mali yun POC siya.
Yes, he is, diba?
What up, Julian? Doc G, Ina.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Independence Day sa inyong lahat.
Happy
Yes.
Independence Day!
Tunay ba tayong malaya?
Oh, si Chino pa talaga yung nagtanong. Damn!
Damn, bro.
Damn, bro.
When did Chino actually become
What,
politically aware?
What a twist for 2025, no?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Si Doc G as a historian and an educator, maraming masasabi yan.
Yeah.
Nakita nyo ba yung interview ni Carlo Pamintuan kay Pat McAfee sa labas ng Gainbridge Fieldhouse?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Very
cool moment.
Literally, the first thing I saw on my phone when I woke up this morning was a selfie of Carlo and Pat McAfee, which Carlo had sent to me. And I was like, bro, what the hell? Nihintay ko na lang na ma-interview niya si Caitlin Clark. So, na-interview niya na si Dyson Daniels, si Pat McAfee. Next na dapat si Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, it was shown kanina nung halftime, yung interview niya with Dyson Daniels. I was watching it through RPTV, so it was shown
Kaya
there.
pala.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I watch on League Pass.
League Pass.
Oo. Baka sina Lexi Hall or Aliyah Boston na yung next mga interview ni Carlo. Kung hindi si Caitlin Clark.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sophie Cunningham.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's right, Ina. Congrats on Alas Pilipinas.
Oh, yeah.
Advancing to
that's
the
right.
semis.
Ooh,
That's right.
They are
yeah.
making waves. They are making a lot of waves.
love it. Gotta love it.
Julian sana, I would like to. I would like to be in Carlos' shoes as well. We hope to make it happen one day. Jace, ba't naman magtatampo si Angel Reese? Wala naman siya dun. I mean, if she were there, the camera would have panned to her at some point. But, they haven't really shown anyone other than Caitlin Clark and her teammates. Pati nga yung sister ni TJ McConnell wala dun di ba? Si Megan.
I mean, she's playing, diba?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Phoenix.
she's not, yeah. Are they like the first brother-sister combo to play?
No. Anthony and Candace Parker.
Oh, wait, they're siblings?
Yes, sir.
Ngayon ko lang nalaman. You learn something new every day.
I mean, Cheryl Miller never got to play in the W, but Cheryl and Reggie Miller are brother
Reggie Miller,
sister.
Yeah, true. Probably the best brother-sister duo ever, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Okay, 1 minute na lang bago matapos tong NBA impromptu podcast natin. We talk about wrestling.
Yeah, let's go. Big week for wrestling this week.
Opera.
My name is Colin Cash Money Cat.
What do we want to talk about?
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
You're still just a kid. Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I'm home.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name.
Amen. He appears.
Stan C, the voice of Philippine wrestling, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Momoran, the fancy dad, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Chino Diao, Best Gout Machine, San Sebastian College, Recoletos, College of St. Benilde, De La Salle University, International Academy of Film and Television.
Emil Nate, small forward, the Ateneo de Naga University.
Rowan ASH, bad boy ng dance floor ng Quezon City, Central Scholar University, Manila.
I love you solo.
When you're listening.
And you're listening.
And you're listening.
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
ng Kalayaan Pilipinas. Hope that you guys all actually had the freedom to do whatever the hell you wanted today. And I hope you're free to actually catch the live stream on this holiday. Big ups muna kay babyface producer Jasper for being with us on this holiday.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jasper.
Thank you, Jasper.
We love you, Jasper.
May freedom siya of choice of working on a holiday. So thank you.
Yeah. Are we muted? Tingnan nga
No,
natin.
I can hear us.
Ayun, okay. Tinatanong lang ni Jace in the comments.
Wait, why are people saying that?
Yeah, people
Jasper
are
says
saying
we're
na
good.
audio.
What?
Okay
Really?
lang daw. Sabi
Baka si
niya,
Jasper
Yeah,
yung
I
tinatanong
hear
nila.
ourselves on the feed. Guys, did you mute the feed?
I have no idea.
Late
No,
ko lang
did
na
you guys
open, na you
watching
good.
this mute the feed? Because I can hear us on the feed.
Okay.
Sabi
Baka lang
ni
na-mute
Jasper,
nila.
late lang daw niya na open.
Okay. We're good. So yes, complete attendance tonight. Harvey also letting us know in the live stream that they're listening. Thank you for monitoring for us. Kasi hindi rin namin ma-monitor ng buo. MJ also letting us know. Thank you guys for letting us know that we are back on track with this week's podcast. We have a lot to talk about for this week. So before we dive right into it, let's start with some plugs. So Emil Nate from the room where it happens. Let us know what you got to plug.
All right, so a way to support the Wrestling Podcast is subscribing to our Patreon program. It's at patreon.com/Wrestling Podcast. So kung tip nyo naman yung gank, it's ganknow.com/Wrestling Podcast for those $5. You get benefits, you get perks, you get the Discord server, and you get literally first dibs to everything. Like to our events. You get the chance to hang out with us at movie premieres when we're invited. All that and more. Again, it's also a way to really just support us. We've been doing this for years and years. Thank you so much to our patrons who have stuck by us throughout the years, and thank you to our future patrons that will subscribe to our platforms. Again, the links are patreon.com/Wrestling Podcast and ganknow.com/Wrestling2xpod for as low as $5.
All right. And let's also let them know how they can legally watch the WWE here in the Philippines.
All right, so a lot of people are asking, where can I watch WWE shows here in the Philippines? There are two ways. First, Blast TV, live weekly, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and through Netflix and the WWE Network. And you can do all that if you can enjoy that to the fullest. by upgrading or subscribing to the Converge bundles. Right there on the graphic, so we got the three tiers, plan 797.98, plan 9998, and plan 2298. You get the best speeds, the high speeds, and you get the experience box as well, the new Wi-Fi next gen modem, and you get your Netflix subscription. So you can email their customer service. You can go to their if you have a local office of Converge in your area, you can go there and they will assist you. Again, Converge number one.
Yung.
All right.
Number one, syempre.
Okay. Thank you, Emil Nate. All right, let's start with yung mga highlights from another 4-hour AEW show, which I will admit, hindi ko napanood ng buo because I was too busy with real world stuff.
Here's the thing about the 4-hour AEW show. So it's basically Dynamite and Collision stacked together.
Yeah.
So technically, you don't have to watch the second half, which is the last 2 hours, kasi nothing really important happens there anymore. So parang they are just really putting in content to fill out the time slot that they've been given. So everything that is important, they will stick on the first 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. So yun, we got to talk about Swerve and Ospreay and what happened there. They wrestled to a 30-minute draw. Pretty good match, pretty fun match. Dumugo pa nga yung ilong ni Ospreay, though I'm not sure if he intended for that to happen. And then at the end of the draw, nung nagsasalita sina Swerve, or nagsasalita si Swerve, and he was offering Ospreay to go to a sudden death, the Death Riders came in, and the Young Bucks came in, and then they were supposed to take Swerve out with the thumbtack laced boot or sneaker, and then Will Ospreay took a bullet for Swerve. So what do you think about all of this? Like, do you think Ospreay finally proved this point to Swerve?
Yes. I enjoy this segment a lot. First of all, the match was really good. It wasn't your typical spot fest na dire-diretso like most people that tend to enjoy from AEW. So it's really, really good. And then they played this one out for the emotion. And it worked really well. It was a connective thread that would get you to finally putting Swerve into the spot where they wanted him to be, diba? Yung Avenger spot, diba? After saying that he has no connective tissue to everything that Hangman's going through against the Death Riders. So there's that, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that one a lot, and it's the type of thing that should be going on at the end of the show. Pero syempre, it's a tough order when you're going up against the NBA Finals, diba? So it's all in the beginning, and that's where most people will catch it or will be able to catch it. So again, it is. I will admit that it is cinema.
Yeah, I really like the storyline between the Death Riders, the Bucks, and everybody else. Diba? Sila Swerve, Hangman, and Ospreay. I like how they now put Swerve in the spot of a reluctant hero. I like how they also still included, kasi diba ang main story dito is Hangman and the Death Riders, or Hangman and Moxley. Diba? And everybody else is collateral at this point. Diba? Parang side plot siya to the main arc. So I like how they're incorporating here, and they're actually telling a pretty straightforward story with this one. So it was very nicely done, and the match was also pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with what the guys said. The match itself was really nice. I'm glad that they put this in the opener, considering yun nga, they were going up against the NBA Finals. And it was a great match. It was a great match. It was important to the story kasi. It was important that they fight it out among themselves first before they unite. And yun na nga, natahi na doon from point A to point B. Now this will probably lead to a tag match at All In between Swerve, Ospreay, and the Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How disappointed will you guys be if the Avengers moment doesn't happen? Kasi they kind of already did something similar, diba? With sina Samoa Joe, kailan ba to, nung Dynasty or Revolution?
Dynasty, yeah.
Dynasty.
Dynasty. When they had the Ops win the 6-man, the Trios Championship. It was a Trios Championship. I mean, they did that, and then syempre, they had Swerve lose pa rin, diba? 'Cause that was right after Dynasty. So I think they had to do that to keep the momentum going, because otherwise people would have been turned off already. Uh, I know it's tough to say after we've been burned so many times, but I think All In is the end of the story. So I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to bait people into into feeling annoyed. Excuse me, to getting their rocks off emotionally. But I do think that TK has plotted this end, and because Swerve wasn't the guy to win the title, despite him being having every mark of being the guy. I think they are finally ending it with Hangman.
I have lost faith in TK, so I'm just not gonna expect anything. Kasi I thought
You
it
have
was
broken
Cole.
Emil Nate.
I
What a
thought it was
jaded
Darby.
You have
answer.
broken this
I
kid.
thought it was Brian. Like I legit in my heart I really wanted Hangman to be the guy. Kasi he's really the main character of
You didn't
AEW.
expect ka nga.
But again, ano na eh, mahirap na eh. Kasi I've been burned by his booking so many times before. I know All In is their event, but I'm just gonna enjoy the show.
Okay.
I'm not gonna expect anything.
Galing yun sa writer ng NXT
Oo.
pa.
Mm.
You wrote for NXT there, man. No, seriously. I agree with Emil when he said Hangman is the main character of AEW. And not just AEW, but this particular storyline, di ba? Siya talaga yung focus dyan. So, if you know anything about storytelling at all, like the minimum amount, you'd easily understand that resolution is such a big deal. Otherwise, anong point ng kwento mo, di ba? So, the fact that we are not just expecting but hoping Hangman walks away with the title at this point really just goes to show na yun lang yung resolution na gustong makita ng tao. Anything short of that, and the AEW is gonna lose face again. So, feeling ko naman kahit paano aware si Tony Khan na yun yung gusto makita ng tao, di ba? Or maybe we get worked again. Who knows? But
I
at the
mean,
very least, di ba, expect mo na alam niya na ito yung
yeah.
end of story.
Yeah, it's easy to dunk on him, but I think I think he's not stupid enough to really throw away all that goodwill. I think he's managed to string people along. And for those who want to dunk on it, because it's easy to dunk on anything AEW. Let's not forget that Vince and Triple H together edged you for 4 years.
Yeah.
When you thought it was about to end, yung title run ni Roman Reigns, they edged you and they kept going. And that moment in 2023, when you thought it was about to end, they kept going for another year. So WWE fans actually don't get to say anything about AEW about when Tony Khan does this.
Mm-hmm.
So yun lang naman.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's move on to Okada versus Omega's All In. The new Unified Championship belt has been unveiled, and we also saw na it looks like there's an alliance between Okada and Don Callis at the moment. So let's break it down here. Let's start with the Unified Championship. What do you think of the belt, the name, the idea of it taking over the place of the Continental and International Championships?
I'm sure.
Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
Ano, sino muna?
Kasi I was gonna throw it to Emil because he's always last.
Okay, go.
I'm sure Chino's happy that it's not the Intercontinental.
Exactly what I was gonna say. That's right. Yeah, hit it on the head. I'm glad they didn't call it the Intercontinental Championship because that's not what Intercontinental means, Internet. It does not mean international and continental. It means across an entire continent. So stop complaining.
Well, the original Intercontinental Championship ng WWF was between North and South America. So
it's still across a continent. Diba? Those are
I
still
guess the super
two
continent.
different
Sure, I
continents. I mean,
guess.
No, it's
Americas.
across continents, di ba? Parang, isn't that the idea of intercontinental?
Together, it's a super continent. So I
I mean, it's
guess
still
it
two
makes
different
sense.
continents, right? By geography. Sure, if you're a Pangaea apologist, then maybe it doesn't make
No,
sense.
if we're being pedantic here, hindi ba yung intercontinental is really just another way to say across the world? Because if you're going across continents, you're
Yeah.
going across the world.
No, the pedantry here is really from where the original WWF took the intercontinental name. It was because the fabled championship
yeah.
between the North American Championship and the South American Championship. So yun yung intercontinental, what the term intercontinental is referring to.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going all the way back to the etymology of the Intercontinental Championship in professional
Basta
wrestling.
masaya ako may totoong pangalan siya at hindi siya some made-up ship name for two belts.
Oh, sige. Let's talk about the actual name then, which is the
sorry.
Unified Championship.
Eventually, people are gonna wonder when we get far enough down the history, we're gonna wonder what the unified or people who don't know the lore are gonna wonder the same way people who don't know what the Intercontinental Championship really meant are gonna wonder why it's called the unified. Like, what is it unifying, diba? Right now, in this moment, we know that it's unifying the international and the continental. So, ang sa akin lang, it's the idea is okay. I just wish they chose one name and stuck with it. To say either the Unified Continental or the Unified International Championship. I get why they didn't do that because it's going to be a mouthful, but still, for also logical reasons, it's gonna the meaning will be lost eventually.
Yeah, actually, I agree. Because when you say unified, diba, you automatically assume na pinagsama yung dalawang belts. But then again, ngayon, fresh pa sa memories natin. Tama si Ro, alam pa natin kung ano yun eh. So, yeah, I agree. They should have just picked a different name, diba? Like with the Universal title. When that was the thing, diba? They called it something else. Hindi siya transferable. So, I wish they did come up with an original name. Piling ko kaya naman nila yan.
Unity Championship.
Oh, diba? Like United Championship.
United.
Or
That's actually not a bad name.
Global, diba? Gaya ng IWG.
Diba?
TNA has already done global and NJPW.
Yeah, United Championship, diba? It's something to that extent. Kasi parang ang
Kinain nila yung story mode sa 2K25.
ang gulo na nung unified after a while eh. Parang sasabihin na ng tao, unified ng ano, diba?
Yeah. This is why the points you guys made is why I think eventually this will be unified with the AEW World Championship.
Damn.
Para isa na lang.
Sure. I don't mind.
Yeah. But that's not now. It's maybe like 2 years or 3 years.
Mabalik yung spotlight ng TNT Championship.
Yeah, as the mid-card title, di ba?
Yun ba yung sinabi sa'yo sa writer's room ng AEW, Emil?
Grabe, you jumped ship!
Na-fire na siya eh, di ba? Natanggal na sa Wikipedia eh.
I just be like, kasi of the name na yung unified eh. So, eventually I think it will be unified with the world title if they're not gonna do a brand split.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sabi ni MJ sa comments, the Multiversal Championship.
That would be the day.
That would be hella funny kung yun yung naging pangalan. Right. Any other thoughts on Okada Omega, or do you want to save it for when the story gets even more fleshed out?
I have something to say about this one.
Sige, go.
I don't like the inclusion of Don Callis in the story. Medyo sawa na rin ako with Okada versus Don Callis. They have been running this for like 2 years now. You know, like let Okada and Omega have just them, na sila lang, because the feud, the name value of both guys already enough to carry the feud up until All In. Like there's no need for Don Callis bullshit here because I'm tired of that guy. He's everywhere. And parang walang purpose yung group niya. It's just like, okay, I have these guys and I have this group of guys with no purpose. As kinuha ko silang lahat. So it's nothing against Don Callis, but I'm really just tired of him. And I would be happy if I don't see him in my TV screens for a while.
Are you
I
saying, Emil, na si Don Callis ay isang manager na hindi marunong ibenta yung talents niya?
I
Lo.
probably at this point. Because what does the talent get with Don Callis? Like, may nanalo bang world champion under his belt? No, no one.
Parang siyang may reverse Paul Heyman effect
Exactly,
eh.
exactly. That's
Diba?
what, like
Parang
what
pag
she just said.
imbis na ma-rocket strap ka under Don Callis, you lose steam. And it's
Wow.
confusing,
Damn.
man.
It's a very harsh criticism of Don Callis.
It's
obviously it's a criticism of the booking of Don Callis and not necessarily Don Callis, the man. Kasi syempre he can talk for his guys. Diba?
All right, anything else?
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
I don't really mind. To counter lang Emil really quickly, I don't mind it kasi syempre it's a device to get Okada as the clear heel between the two of them. Kasi syempre otherwise, knowing what AEW likes to do, it could easily end up both guys being cheered, diba? But syempre somebody has to be the bad guy. So I get why there is a temporary alliance between Don Callis and Kazuchika Okada. So I understand as well bakit hindi siya welcome, but it is what it is. And I do like I do like how they kind of tied it together, where pinilit niyang isingit yung statuses ni Kyle Fletcher, diba? So I don't mind that, but I also get why people have a problem with it.
All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about someone that most of you do not have a problem with at all. We'll talk about Mr. Iguana right after this. All right, let's talk about everyone's new favorite wrestler on the internet, Mr. Iguana. Siya ba yan, no? Siya ba yung Joe Hendry of this year?
Yeah. The memes are already out. Yung ano, diba? They're replacing Joe Hendry with Mr. Iguana.
The Joe Hendry Iguana crossover.
Ironically, they're both on the Triple Mania radio
and ironically, also, I guess, gumawa yung AAA wrestlers ng Joe Hendry.
Yes,
video.
I saw that today. I saw that.
So hey, man, always.
So TNA got to do a Mr. Iguana thing now.
Yeah, so Mr. Iguana is so popular now. Like his profile just went all the way up because of his appearance at Worlds Collide, people's fascination with his gimmick, how simple and how mind-blowing it is, how over Layeska is. People want Iguana puppets now, and meron mga reports na WWE is trying to work with Mr. Iguana on how they can make merch together. I honestly don't know how that's gonna work kasi diba paano may copyright yung Iguana puppet? I don't even know kung yung Iguana puppet na yan gawa talaga ni Mr. Iguana or kung binili lang niya sa internet.
There's an Amazon link for it.
To the specific Layeska that Mr. Iguana has. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. All right.
So I'm sure WWE will find the supplier for that and lock it down.
Uh-huh.
Papalitan nila yung pangalan ng Mr. Iguana.
Nilalagay nila ng Mr. Iguana branding.
Senior Iguana.
Hindi nga, yung branding niya mismo.
That's his new name, Senior. That's his WWE name.
Why?
Because they do that shit.
I don't know. I don't think they would change. They didn't change Joe Hendry's.
Oh,
yeah, fair. Okay, fair.
This guy is just so over. And there's something about like in wrestling sometimes hindi mo ma-explain eh. Like you just gravitate towards a guy and and Mr. Iguana has that quality. He has that it factor.
And like we said, he is very articulate in the English language, diba? If you hear him speak English, mapapansin mo yan. And he is also a champion in AAA. This is something I didn't know. He's a mixed tag champion.
Mixed tag champion.
Yeah, alongside La Hydra, I think is how you pronounce it. So very interesting that they've chosen to rocket strap, I guess you could say, a tag team champion in AAA. Sana mag-benefit din si yung partner niya, si La Hydra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just so fascinated by everyone's reactions to Mr. Iguana. To me, I don't think it's yung parang you can't explain it. I think you can explain it kasi the character is so simple, it's so funny, and he just doubled down on everything. Like he put on the face paint. He actually treats Layeska like an actual part of, his universe, the same way na Mr. Sako got over, the same way that the Cobra got over. And he's funny, diba? He figured out, much like R-Truth, na his niche is comedy wrestling. So magaling siyang wrestler and magaling din siya magpatawa, so he doubled down on it.
No, I can explain it. I can explain Mr. Iguana pretty well. It is silly comedy wrestling that is WWE approved. So because it doesn't happen on a show that is no longer, not with WWE, diba? Because AAA is now technically a WWE company. Because it's not an independent show, because it's not an quote-unquote outlaw mud show, diba? Okay na siya with, people, WWE fans have given themselves permission to like it. So that's why Mr. Iguana is over. Because they really wanted to love that stuff, to laugh at that stuff. They wanted something that is lighthearted and funny and easily understandable. It's an iguana, an iguana in the ring,
Yeah,
and
a guy dressed as an iguana.
Yeah, and a guy dressed as an iguana, diba? And because the powers that be, the biggest company in the world, has allowed it to happen under their watch. But then, so that's why he's over as hell. But hey, I'm not. It's not a problem it's not a problem with the company, diba? It's a problem with the fans. But again, Mr. Iguana is good because he understands how comedy wrestling should work. He understands how to do it in a way that gets it over. And it is silly, pero syempre, it's not all the way, silly.
Yeah,
I can't also say it's unrealistic. I say it's Lindsay Dorado to also just Spanish flight a plush iguana puppet. So there is that. So people wanted to laugh at something, and they got that.
Yeah, once in a while, diba, a comedy wrestler just really captivates everybody. R-Truth has done it.
Yep.
Santino Marella once did it, and now it's Mr. Iguana. And you're right, Ro. Tayong mga wrestling fans, I think whether we admit it or not, we really do appreciate the comedy then, because wrestling is a hodgepodge of genres put together. So you can't just say, no, I'm just in it for the drama. I'm just in it for the serious wrestling, for the hardcore wrestling. But there's literally something for everybody. And Mr. Iguana has that market covered, for the time being.
I mean, yeah, it's true of any sort of storytelling medium here, diba? Like if you watch an action movie, hindi naman pwedeng non-stop action lang yung papanoorin mo, diba? You need moments of levity to kind of let the story breathe. And in this scenario with Mr. Iguana, that's what he provides, diba? He allows people, Mr. Iguana and Santino and the rest, they allow the story to breathe, and it allows for people to just laugh a little bit before they get back to that serious action.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm excited to see more of Mr. Iguana. Diba? We saw some video packages of him nung Raw. He appeared nung NXT. So I'm pretty sure we can expect more of him on WWE programming, unless
Emil
my
Nate.
insight si Emil Nate.
Emil Nate, kailan siya lalabas sa NXT?
Sino niya ka-feud?
Sino laban niya, Emil? Si Jasper Troy ba?
Jasper.
Jasper Troy versus Mr. Iguana.
Destroyed by Jasper.
Oh no! Oh no!
Squash agad.
I mean, I would love him to have a program with Joe Henry.
Here's a question. Does Mr. Iguana stop at NXT first, or does he go straight to the main roster? Do we trust the main roster watchers to know or to have seen Worlds Collide on YouTube?
I mean, they were promoting it. They were promoting the hell out of it, like before and after. So,
I mean, kahit hindi, I think WWE does its due diligence when it comes
Yeah.
to promoting other promotions they work with.
Oh, so
Like,
saan siya labas?
yeah, but I think NXT first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do a
Yeah, but
spell in
same.
NXT and then call him up to the main roster.
Give us your insight, NXT Booker man.
I think Sheena's right. I think NXT is like a safe bet kung
Uh-huh.
like saan siya lalabas.
Mm-hmm.
And because the NXT crowd, I feel like the his stick would really work there.
Yeah.
And
NXT
then
crowd ang nanonood ng internet eh, diba? So,
yes, I guess.
Sabihan mo na lang ako Emil Nate pag may papa-highlight ka. I'm a
palibre
company
ng
guy, Booker
Layeska
man.
toys.
I'm gonna shill the
daw.
Layeska toys. Yeah, sure.
Shield mo yung
Di ba
Layeska.
may libreng merch for WWE employees?
Oh, yung mga nasa office. Not me.
Si Emil.
Emil, dumukot ka ng isang Layeska dyan.
Oh, pambo naman ng Layeska, Emil Nate. All right, from the ha-ha to the hoo-hoo, let's talk about your new world heavyweight champion. Gunther is now a two-time world champ after he defeated Jey Uso in the main event of Monday Night Raw. And it also did bring the feels. Yung anak ni Jey Uso was right there at ringside. I don't know if he had to go through that emotional trauma, but that was a lot. And I'd like to think that it was universally praised as a good TV main event.
nung nakita ko pala yung anak ni Jey Uso, parang okay, I have this weird feeling. Okay. something sad might happen here. And hindi naman sad. It was a surprise, but at the same time it wasn't, knowing it's Gunther. I'm just surprised with how clean the win was. No interferences, no BS, no cash in. It was a straight up win for Gunther. And he held that sleeper hold for like an eternity. I felt like, so that those last 5 minutes where they would just struggle with the sleeper hold was for me the peak of the match. I love those last 5 minutes, and deserved naman ni Gunther. I mean, hindi tayo sanay to see him without a title. He's literally in his career is like a champion for like 85 or 90% of the time. So this guy, parang it's not as surprising rin, even though the win came at the surprise time siguro.
I was very surprised when Jay dropped the title. Kala ko they were gonna still keep it on Jay. And again, I was expecting a cash in here. Pero
Yeah.
we saw at the top of Raw that Seth Rollins was teasing CM Punk and Cena with it, right? So probably because of the events of the main event. So it's interesting that the number one, they've decided to put the title back on Gunther because it leads me to wonder where Jey Uso goes from here. Diba? It also proves Gunther right, which is my second point. Diba? Gunther's whole shtick was Jey Uso had divided attention, i.e. kaya siya natalo or kaya niya kayang talunin. Diba? Kasi he wanted to help his friends. He wanted to tag with Cody. Ayan, yung nangyari sa'yo, injured ka tuloy. Inupakan niya. Right? So now, where does Jey go from here? Does he go back to his friends fighting Seth Rollins' group? Or does he go on an arc trying to get the title back? Because
Rumor
it's
is
clear
that they're
na,
reforming the Usos. That's the rumor now.
which is again a third thing na sobrang saan galing yun, di ba? Kasi it splits Jay in so many directions when Gunther was clearly right na hindi niya kayang gawin yun.
I think it is really pretty crazy that there is a vocal section of fans online that absolutely love this because they absolutely hate Jey Uso.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Man, I mean, I understand it, but I don't let it, I don't let myself get to that point because, he's over. The guy is over. And I always say, when you're over, you're over. When you make money, and you get rewarded for being over. Diba? And there's a vocal section of fans online who hate Jey Uso. And syempre, nakikita mo rin sila sa crowd. Pero mas lamang pa rin yung mga Jey Uso fans who do the dance, who love to eat, diba? So, this is I would dare say that this Jay is like the 2020s John Cena. Like that is how insane. Yeah, yeah. No, yung reaction wise. He's pretty up there, close there, up there, merch wise, because he does move merch. But it is insane, does he? What happens now? Does he also go on an Ron Killings epiphany? But it is pretty crazy because technically you shouldn't mess with what's working, even though there are people who hate it. But it's just mind-boggling to me that even after a different booker, even after a different head, diba, we still find ourselves with this problem na may mga galit sa taong for the kids. And then the kids still also love him. Diba? So, yun. I don't know what I would feel if I were Jay, but the money is real. That's the only thing that's real. Yeah, TJ did tell us that the only two things that are real about the wrestling business are the money and the miles. So, if the Yeet stuff is making me money and providing for my family, who am I to go against that?
Ang gusto ko lang dagdag is Jay Uso's son being there is how we get the next Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
That's exactly how it happens. Remember
Origin
Ray,
story.
remember Ray and
Siya yung
Eddie?
Anuwai Dominic.
The bloodline needs to continue, y'all.
Well, we'll see in 10 years, I guess.
Oh. Siya naman yung may deadbeat dad rhetoric in 10-15 years. Oh boy.
Doc G brings up an interesting point. He says that he hopes Gunther gets a longer reign this time. I don't think the long reign is the problem here. Remember that by the time Gunther lost, people were also dragging him because his reign was quote unquote boring to them. Diba? And I dare say also that anything involving Jay was like the most interesting that Gunther was as a heel champion. So I don't think Gunther is the one size fits all band-aid for the World Heavyweight Championship, especially when he also had shortcomings given him, diba? So I don't think Gunther needs to have a long reign. I do think he needs to have more stories like what he had with Jay.
Mm-hmm. What about the cash-in? Do you think Seth will go after Gunther, or do you think gugulatin niya tayo by going after Cena or whoever has the WWE Championship?
It's possible. I mean,
yeah, I feel like he's gonna go after the WWE Championship.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense then to have him go after, say, the bigger fish in Cena. No offense to Gunther, pero let's face it, diba? Kasi it allows Cena to kind of wrap up his run essentially by dropping to somebody else and then having Jay cash in on him or cashing in on Cena himself. Pero parang pag ginawa niya yun, basta haba pa yung kwento ni Cena eh. So my slight prediction here is the first thing happening, which is Jay cashing in on whoever beats Cena for the title.
Seth, you mean?
Oh, sorry, Seth, yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, let's take another break. When we come back, more stuff from Raw and NXT right after this. All right, CM Punk versus John Cena is being run back here. We're going to get it at Night of Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at the end of the month. And on one hand, it feels like it's 2011 all over again. But on the other, it's kind of weird given si CM Punk, diba, may mga sinabi siya dati about Saudi Arabia and him not really wanting to go there. And yet all it took was John Cena forcing Punk to wrestle him for the title.
Eto, tanong ko sa inyo, specifically you three. Is
What else is
CM
there to
Punk
answer?
is CM Punk a hypocrite for going to Saudi?
Sure. I mean, kung natuloy siya, sure. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah. I mean, he did say something in the past about, like about Saudi and all that. So him going to Saudi would make him look like a hypocrite.
But I don't think this was the thing that made him a hypocrite. Diba? I think the whole
Yeah.
being a dick back in AEW was the thing that made him a
Yeah.
hypocrite. It's like at this point, it's par for the course for him.
People
Like
were
I appreciate what you tried to do, the stand you tried to take. But I already know what kind of guy you are.
People were
Eto,
having
Chino.
a field day about this whole thing.
Okay.
It's one thing kung ikaw yung nagsabi. Pero kung si John Cena yung nagsabi nito during the lead up to the Night of Champions match,
Yeah,
oh my
yun.
gosh, that would be a hell of a
Exactly.
burn.
I mean, it's not. You know what? It's not beyond him rather to say it.
I don't-
Kasi,
Unhinged heel John Cena,
I mean,
sure, diba?
I mean, I think the challenge was deliberate. If we're talking about Cena's character, deliberate yung ginawa niya to have the title match at Saudi because he knew if Punk said yes, he could call him a hypocrite.
Right.
Diba?
Yeah, basically set a trap for Phil. Diba? Like, yung wordings pa lang yung pagkakasabi niya na the ball's in your court.
Yeah.
That in itself was like, kakasa ka ba?
The pause that he made before he said na, okay, dun tayo sa Saudi. That was the key for me.
Yeah. Like, kakasa ka ba? You have a title shot, but it's in Saudi.
Yeah, it's very Wishmaster stuff.
Eto, let me ask you guys, if you were CM Punk, given everything that's happened, would you say yes?
you know what? That's a good question. I say
that is the question of the week.
Gaano kalaki yung paycheck? Seriously, money talks. That's what we're talking about here.
Hindi na ba maghihirap ang pamilya ko for
Oo.
generations to come?
Diba?
Bakit? Naghihirap ang pamilya ni CM Punk, bro? Tingin mo ba
For future
nagugutom
generations to
si
come.
Larry?
You don't know, man. Those
If I were to
bracelets,
be paid-
those bracelets might be expensive. Di natin alam.
If I were to
Ang
be
dami
paid
to see
in,
here.
in millions of Bitcoin.
Di kasi ganito lang yan. Di ba? If you get paid a large enough sum wherein you can slap $100 to all the people who call you a hypocrite and still not be poor afterwards, then you say yes. Di ba? Parang tipong kung ganun ka na kayaman, wala ka nang pakialam kung itatawag ka
I think there's a way out naman. I think there's a way out naman for Punk's character to say yes and have it be somewhat morally acceptable. Parang diba he said that he said in the promo that in order to beat the monster I have to become the monster. And ironically, being the monster means also being a hypocrite about what you said about going to Saudi, diba? So that's pretty interesting stuff. Parang if this was the only chance I have to win the championship from you, then fuck it. I got no choice. I have to pay. I have to get paid in blood money.
Like greater good type of stuff.
Yeah.
Moral hypocrisy, the true monster.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't say that, parang nasayang yung opportunity.
Yeah, they had to address this in the build-up.
He kind of addressed it first. Sabihin mo sa team.
Pitch mo in the writer's room.
Oh. Lagay mo sa Google Docs. Or sa GC.
So yeah, may point yung sinabi nyo. They had to acknowledge it in the build-up for it to be like, okay, I can be okay with him going to Saudi.
Although it will be a tough order kasi obviously they can't make a reference to Punk saying he doesn't want to work Saudi. Kasi syempre, partner mo yung Saudi. Sabi mo sa TV na coops sila eh.
Hindi lang yun. Parang people be like, "Oy, what's that? Where did Punk say that?" Google's AEW, diba?
Although I'm sure they will. Well, I mean, they already made references to the Brawl Out, diba?
Yeah.
On WWE content.
Right.
So I'm sure it will get brought up, but not in a way that references Saudi being Saudi.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's so fascinating. Like I don't know about you guys, but I love everything about this. It gives me hope. It gives me will to live.
It will be one of the better stories in Cena's heel run if they actually do what they want them to do.
I mean, if anything, it's not a CM Punk story if it's not this nuance, diba?
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with you. especially ano na to chapter na to in CM Punk's long career, 'di ba?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I agree. I love this. I love this for Cena. Love this for Punk. Love this for Night of Champions, which again is happening at the end of the month. More reasons for all of us na hindi matulog during that
Oh
weekend.
God, shit. Kailan nga ulit?
Man, it's gonna be at what 1 a.m.
When is it? When is it?
It is on madaling araw ng June 29.
Jesus fuck. Are we doing a show? Jesus.
No,
Are people asking for a show?
Si
Bawa
Cristino,
kayo ni
wala
Ro.
pa sinasabi si Cristino, Ro.
No, but thank you to everyone who dropped by Money in the Bank nung Sunday. It was raining again. We talked about this really quickly nung weekend reacts, but as long as you guys clamor for it, so I guess if you clamor for a Night of Champions viewing party, madali na makausap yung Skinny Mike. Kasi
Yeah, that's true.
those people work long hours. But we're not the only viewing parties that happen. And before Backlash, there was an NBA viewing party no madaling araw. So it's nothing new to them.
So yeah.
May UFC pa pagkatapos, diba?
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know if you want a Night of Champions viewing party. Sina Ro, Chino, and Emil, they'll put that together for you guys. All right, one more before we go to break. R-Truth shocked the world again by declaring that he is indeed going by Ron Killings now, and then he cut his hair. So now, yung new picture ni R-Truth, the new renders actually up online now, and he very much is donning the hairstyle of one murder grandpa, who coincidentally, halos kaedad niya.
Oh, but hey, it's like I said about Weekend Reacts. I was speculating that because of Truth's demeanor when he ran interference no main event, he was going to be serious, and lo and behold, he is serious now.
Not just that, he was actually referencing the real world stuff.
Yeah, and interesting, diba? The question now is, I know that there's a lot of groundswell for support kay R-Truth kasi he got unjustly, not renewed, diba? But how long is the serious stuff gonna last? Because people love comedy R-Truth. They loved goofy R-Truth. And the last time he wasn't the R-Truth we love now, hindi masyadong pumatok yung character niya, diba? People look fondly back on Awesome Truth, but I remember the reactions to that in the day, and they weren't really like the best because it was him and Miz, and they weren't like, they weren't as beloved as they are now. So I wonder how much legs this serious Ron Killings has.
Yun din yung tanong ko actually yung weekend reactions. I wondered, kasi I didn't want R-Truth to get rid of the comedy gimmick because that's what made him different from
But
everybody
at the same
else.
time, di mo rin
Diba? Yeah, exactly. So they kind of cornered him into a wall here by bringing him back as Ron Killings. Now, I did like the promo. I thought it was as shocking, if not more shocking, than Gunther winning that night. Nagulat ako na ginupit niya yung locks niya. Nagulat ako that he was actually telling the crowd to shut up, sort of, diba? And that promo was so impassioned, pati sila Michael Cole napapalakpak. So, that to me was a very good promo. The problem is now, tama yung sinabi ni Ro, the longevity of a serious Ron Killings here. How long are people going to stay tuned to this R-Truth, diba? Before he does an unexpected heel turn or unwanted heel turn, tapos mawala na siya ulit, diba? Is this like really the best way to bring Ron Killings back?
Yun yung iniisip ko rin eh. Like, especially when I was watching the promo, is this gonna head towards a heel turn? Kasi ganun yung demeanor niya eh. Like, he's so mad.
No, I don't think he's turning heel. Because if anything, the only person he should be mad at is yung management. Eh. They were the ones who fucked with him, not
fair.
the fans.
But like the demeanor, like it's like it speaks like a potential heel turn.
Hindi, Emil. Ron Killings did not become evil. He was just true to himself.
Yun. Okay.
I mean, he did
Yeah,
say
you can say
Truth
that.
set him free, so...
Oh, yeah. But I get, naalala ko tuloy yung conspiracy theorist Truth, the hero that
That was bordering comedy then. That was bordering the comedy stuff.
Oh no, before it went to comedy.
The conspiracy through truth was bordering the comedy stuff.
Okay, alright. So
Yung sinasabi ni Ro was way before that.
Yeah.
Way before he turned crazy.
I'll see. So, let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Who is going after next, or is he continuing the feud with Cena? So, baka natin.
I mean, how is it not John Cena? Diba? After everything that's happened, how is Truth not fighting with John Cena?
Yeah, it's
No,
definitely
you know what?
Cena.
I want him to keep fucking with Cena's title matches.
I think what I would like to happen actually is a Truth beat Cena for the championship. Tapos magkakashin si Seth sa kanya.
Oh,
just to
shit.
have that moment,
That would be
diba?
nice.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah.
Hit two birds diba? And all that.
Right. Yeah. We get the moment and then we cry afterward. Great.
Uh,
All right, let's take another break. When we come back, we'll talk about the women and Jasper Troy and his impressive showing on NXT. We are on the road to WWE Evolution, which is happening in July. So that also means na babalik yung ibang mga legends. We've got the return of Hall of Famer Nikki Bella, Nikki Sawa, as some of you affectionately call her on the internet. And we've got Liv Morgan starting a feud with Nikki Bella here.
Being as Liv is a tag team champion, does this mean Brie is also coming back? Although Brie is technically in the orbit of AW.
I mean, it's not like she works with them.
Still, I guess.
That was the first thing I thought of.
Eh, sina Rhea and Buddy, di ba mag-asawa sila, but they work for both companies.
Ito na lang. During WrestleMania week, Bree's brand, yung clothing brand niya, had a pop-up in the same hotel that the WWE was at.
Yung Birdie B.
Yeah, so I do not know kung anong weight nung sinabi ko. But, I mean, kung nag-pop up siya dun sa Fontainebleau in the WWE hotel, that has to be kind of a conscious decision on her end, diba? On the WWE's end to allow her to do that kung nasa AEW siya.
Now, how many people are excited to hear the Remode song, diba?
Remode!
Let's talk about that really quickly.
The Remode song?
No. The Bellas in general.
Kala mo Remode
Kasi the return of Nikki is definitely polarizing. Kasi syempre,
why?
The Divas era is not looked back fondly upon by some fans.
Yeah, but did Nikki Sawa not prove herself already?
No, obviously, I agree with you there. But I'm just telling you, syempre, compared to the women's revolution, the Divas era is not, is a sore point for many fans.
Sure, yeah.
And it's generated a lot of buzz on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, for one thing, Nikki isn't as bad as people think the Bellas are. I think people hear Bella Twins and then they remember yung pinaka early Bella Twins.
Yeah.
And that's not them. Syempre, Nikki and quite a bit of the other women have also worked hard to get better in the ring. But also, if people love the Divas era, don't leave them alone.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's obviously the Divas aren't as on the same level as the women wrestlers of today that WWE has. Pero syempre, you're entitled to like whatever you want to like, but you're not entitled to minimize and talk shit about people who like what they like. Diba? So if people like the Divas era and think that was their childhood, especially for guys like Emil's age, diba? Let them be. Hindi ka naman sasaktan.
No, you know what? I just realized now, diba? How weird is it that there's a generation of male wrestling fans who are like, oh yeah, the divas, yeah, the TNA era, I really grew up to a lot of that stuff. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But also, oh, such crappy wrestling. Alam mo yun, parang, it's like doubly shitting on the women from that era when you have to take into context na those were the only available opportunities in wrestling at the time. Parang
Yeah,
unfair
and
to expect na, they should have been having EO Sky level bangers back in the day. How?
yeah. And di ba may mga stories nga na they were deliberately told not to overshadow
Wrestle,
the
not to
men.
wrestle.
Di ba? O to wrestle. Kasi they're gonna overshadow the men daw eh. Di ba? So, may mga stories na ganun. It was a different time, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Chino, you're on mute, man.
Nawala yung ano mo.
Wala yung mic niya.
Hala, sinensor si Chino. Sinensor siya ng mga galit sa Divas era. But before Chino reconnects, yun lang, I just find it weird na ang daming biglang nagsisilabasan na naman, ang daming ebas, just because Nikki Bella's back and she's in this storyline with Liv Morgan heading into Evolution. When, to me at least, it's just something fun. It's something fun that actually celebrates, the different eras of women's wrestling in the WWE.
Tsaka I know for a fact that, Nikki is prepared to do the work.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Diba? Like the same way Trish did, same way Lita tried to. I know that those women, especially when they came up during that time, they know that they want to prove something to that na kaya rin nila. And I totally believe that. I totally support that.
Yeah. It's not for lack of trying. Diba? Look at people like Beth Phoenix and what she was able to do back in the day. Molly Holly. Chino, are you back? No, Chino's not back.
Damn.
Sorry, man.
What happened? Just for nagnaman mo Chino.
All right. While Chino tries to figure that out, ito, another women's storyline we gotta watch out for. Bailey is back, and she is feuding with Becky Lynch over the Women's Intercontinental Championship while also taking a pot shot at Lyra Valkyria. Kasi sabi niya, you let this woman take my spot after I got beaten up by her.
Ko kayo sa mic eh.
Nag-sprak na si Chino. Balik tayo kay Chino. Thoughts on Nikki?
Wait, gumana na? Oh, fuck,
Yeah.
narinig niyo ako nagmura. Oh, wait. Sige. Hello, sound check. Okay.
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you. My God, kala ko sinapian yung computer ko eh. Well, this is karma for making fun of a meal during the 1,000th show. This is what I get. So, hey, you live, you learn. Anyway, I do like that Bailey is back. Because I am such a huge Bailey fan.
You don't want to talk about Nikki Bella and yung mga comments on the divas?
You said what you said. Yeah.
Okay.
I can make a poor joke if you want, but not worth it. Baka makancel yung mic ko ulit. No, but seriously, no, I do like Bailey coming back because she has been missed on TV, at least by me and many of her fans. So I appreciate that they brought her back. But it's just interesting that they're making this title picture a triple threat now. Kasi clearly, Lyra is not done with Becky, diba? Sinuplex niya after niya manalo eh. So, I don't know where that leaves Lyra and Bailey off since they were supposed to be a tag team before WrestleMania. If they continue this feud still, if they just tag together afterwards, I don't know. It's still a little murky to me.
Yeah, I like the element of Bailey being, I don't know, mad at Lyra kasi yun nga, she let someone took her spot and then turns out na, Becky was having plans to turn on her. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a triple threat at Evolution, the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah. I heard something on David Shoemaker's podcast this past week that I actually liked. Yung realization na ever since Becky became the man, every feud she's been in has mattered because it's either been a very important storyline or really elevated somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
I think a lot of that is because she is able to spin some gravitas about what she's doing in the feud. and how she is, how she is relating to the feud and relating to her opponent, to the fans, diba? So, diba, maraming nagsabi na, oh, people hate her and she's over the hill and, winning all the time and all that stuff. She's able to bring in a bunch of her personality and her thoughts and her insights. So, I don't think kasi many others, many other women in the division get to say that stuff or get to think of that stuff. So I do think that they have a lot to learn from her, and I hope that somebody like Lyra, who until now is still forming her character, her personality, her lore, if you will, can 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 end up fleshing herself out as completely as possible by working with Becky.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think ang purpose nila ganito is to elevate Lara because she's the younger talent here, diba? So, again, as a Bailey fan, where does that leave Bailey? Parang as an accessory to all of this, parang
She's kind of having her own R-Truth moment then.
Meaning?
Yung na-overlook siya or na-overlook siya kasi diba na-chapuera siya for WrestleMania.
Yeah, true.
Then now she's back, and then after working, and diba, I think in the process or over the past couple of months, she was also dropping some cryptic stuff about how she was also overlooked in favor of Becky.
See, Becky also gets the same comments that Charlotte gets, diba? Na parang, oh, you win all the time. You're always in the main event spotlight. But what
Becky
makes
is
Becky different
entertaining.
from Charlotte?
Becky is entertaining.
Man, it's
Becky's
weird
just
because Becky was in Bailey's position before the man character, diba? People were also, oh, you know what? Becky's being overshadowed by who, but this and this, and now there's a complete 180. Now people are saying that about Becky.
No. Totoo naman kasi. Totoo naman kasi. I noticed this as well, that Becky and Charlotte have the exact same character. It's just really that Becky is more entertaining. Like, I am way more entertained listening to her than I am listening to Charlotte.
I think the reason for me would be that at least yung development ni Becky was a little bit more organic. Kasi diba sinakyan niya yung man character or the man character after niya masapak, diba? Mas stiff in the nose by Nia Jax here. And then she rode on that steam that she had, that heat that she built from that moment, started calling herself the man. Right? It's just that dumating na tayo sa point na matamlay na siya, and it doesn't sit as well with certain fans, right? Whereas with Charlotte Flair, she's always been the queen, even in NXT. Yun agad yung billing niya. Anak siya ni Ric Flair from the Queen City. It hasn't changed one bit. So it's like they were shoving Charlotte Flair down our throats from day one.
I think the problem with Charlotte is that for whatever reason, and this is completely constructive criticism, she seems to be incapable of doing something else. Alam mo yun? Like, Becky is always funny and she's always with the times. Charlotte is stuck doing the same thing, and for some reason they can't get her to do anything else. Alam mo yun? Parang every time she comes back, it's the same thing.
Oh,
like,
she goes after a main title.
Diba? And the only thing, yung kalaban niya, they're the ones who get to adjust to Charlotte, because you got Tiffany saying stuff like you're 0-3 in divorces, diba? In marriage, diba? And meanwhile, Charlotte is still, I'm the queen, and I'm always winning because I'm the queen. So yun yung problem. I don't know why they haven't been able to get her to do something else, or why they haven't figured out anything else for her, but that is the problem. Becky, meanwhile, is the only thing that's consistent about her is that she wins all the time, but everything else, she's fluid. Like right now, she is literally the female version of her husband.
Yeah. Actually, very symmetrical yung kinatatayuan ni na Seth and Becky right now. I just want to say one thing about Becky's promo on Raw this week. Sobrang natawa ko when she actually called Lyra Bird Lady. Because people on the internet have called Lyra Valkyria Bird Lady, but for Becky to actually bring it into WWE canon, sobrang nakakatawa, nakakagago. And like when I was translating for it, I had to say it. Like, oh, Bird Lady ka lang eh. So that was pretty funny. So yeah, good on Becky for having the I guess the awareness, having her finger on the pulse of the fandom, then knowing na oh yeah, the fans have kind of reduced Lyra to being Bird Lady as an acknowledgement na medyo kulang pa yung pag-flesh out ng character ni Lyra.
And Charlotte will never get to say that about her opponents. About the closest she came was mocking Tiffany Stratton for who she is. But that was more pot shotty than it was the way Becky said it with an analytical tone. Diba?
Tsaka sinabi ni Charlotte na nagdi-DM daw sa kanya si Kaiser.
Oh, yeah. True. Yeah. That was the most out-of-pocket thing that Charlotte has said.
Because she doesn't know what else to do.
Exactly.
Dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to NXT and talk about the glamour. Blake Monroe. So that is Mariah May's name going forward on NXT. And I don't know about you guys, but that vignette, I loved everything about it. From the Margot Robbie / Barbie influences to Sabrina Carpenter obviously being referenced right there. It was just so hot and so tasteful and, really makes you want to see more of her.
Nakakatawa na let me just say this quickly before everybody gets it. Nakakatawa na gets niyo yung references ng Barbie and ng Sabrina Carpenter when these people are literally just referencing Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Just like
No,
Blake
no.
Monroe has the name.
No,
diba?
that's not what he meant. That's not what he meant. The name, yes, is a reference to Marilyn Monroe.
The character is too.
No, that's not what he meant.
The glamour comes from Marilyn
No, that's
Monroe.
not what he meant. Listen to me. The vignette was literally shot by shot a recreation of what Sabrina Carpenter plays during her concerts.
Yeah, yes, that I agree with. But Sabrina Carpenter also stole her character from Marilyn Monroe. That's where the reference comes from.
Sinabi yun eh.
Diba? That's where the reference comes from. The hot blonde na, I'm a ditzy blonde pero sexy ako, pero matalino din ako. That's from Marilyn Monroe. That's some blonde.
No, you're right.
Right there. That's some blonde like it hot right there. Diba? So that whole gimmick, even Blake Monroe's actual name comes from Marilyn Monroe. Yun yung pinaka-reference niya.
Right. Alam naman natin na idol ni Mariah May si Marilyn Monroe, diba? So, you can see that right there. Hell, Marilyn Monroe is in freaking All About Eve, which is what the Timeless Tony Storm storyline was based off of.
Yes.
I wonder how much material they're gonna be able to milk before it runs dry. They already did All About Eve in AEW, diba? So, ano pa kayang gagawin nila?
No, I think naman it's a brand new playground for Blake Monroe, diba? So now that she's here in NXT, I think she's got an open highway, so to speak, for what she gets to do. Obviously, she already put JC Jane on notice, so I think hindi magtatagal before she actually goes after the title.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the prediction here, diba?
Yeah. I think she wins the whole yung mini tournament that they've set up on NXT.
She's not in it.
Yes, she is.
Is she?
Yeah, next week.
Are you arguing against the booker?
No.
You tell us
he's a writer for NXT.
I was watching NXT.
Oh, pala. No, I'm mistaken, Emil. I'm so sorry.
I was watching NXT and I swear she has a scheduled match next week. And it's one of the qualifiers for the four-way.
Why do you not include her in the tournament?
No, she's not. I just checked yung Evolution Eliminators. It's Lash versus Kelani, Thea versus Jada, Jordan versus Lola, Izzy versus Zaria.
Sorry about that. But she's gonna be in NXT next week. Yung alam ko.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sa Wikipedia.
But yeah, I'm so excited for this character. I mean, it's tama nga si Stan. It's a whole new playground, coming off of that great run sa AEW, high expectations, of course. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to how she does in NXT.
But we know that she can go.
She definitely can go.
She's proven herself very well in AEW. Now, yung whole thing with her character is that in WWE, wala masyadong ceiling yung character works because they always tend to spread it out. Diba? They tend to evolve the characters here, especially if your character is properly fleshed out. I think yung kay Blake Monroe is properly fleshed out at this point, being that it's a carryover from her time with a different company. So I don't worry na mauubusan sila ng ideas with her because let's face it, she's debuting as a face here when we know her better as a heel, diba? In her later run with AEW. So doon pa lang ang dami na nilang pwedeng gawin.
I just want to reference the comments about her name and the similarities it shares. I just want to say this. In 3 years, they did not fix Sky Blue. So he's safe.
That said, different company. Different company.
I mean, diba? I mean, it's the same scenario with Sky Blue. And mas kilala pa nga yung katokayo ni Sky Blue, diba? So,
Sure.
So
But,
I'm
you know,
saying if they don't fix Sky Blue, they're not gonna fix Blake Monroe. Because eventually, the wrestlers will become more popular than the adult stars.
Yeah, but you know, I'm sure we're all excited. I'm sure we're all excited now. We can Google Blake Monroe safely, and we're also waiting with bated breath to see how Blake blossoms from here.
Oh, but wala mo yun, Nate? Sino ba yun?
No.
Sino ba yun?
Kids are watching.
Ito na lang, something that Chino said kanina. I'm not sure actually kung ano yung alignment ni Blake Monroe, if she's face or heel. Kasi medyo ambiguous pa rin based on the
I
vignette.
think she gets the indie darling face approach. You know how it is.
I mean, yeah,
maybe.
she got super cheered nung lumabas siya, diba? So,
Yeah. And she's going after JC, diba? So
Alistair has a nice question here. He asks, do we think the blonde gimmick is already overused? For one thing, for one thing, they stole the Sabrina Carpenter bit because they knew none of us went to a Sabrina Carpenter concert. So I think they're safe there. And
again,
was thoughtful in references ni Mariah, especially if you've known her AEW work. Diba?
Yeah. And, you know, I actually think na it's good that we're referencing Sabrina Carpenter, who is still very much current, diba? It's a far cry from where we were in WWE years ago, where like a popular act would be referenced pag nalaos na sila.
True.
Diba? So we're so far gone from that previous era.
True. Yep.
All right.
Apo ba siya ni Karen Carpenter?
Well, for one, Karen Carpenter never had an apo.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I really thought she was related to the Carpenters. Legit.
To answer another thing that Chino said kanina, Blake Monroe wouldn't be the first person yung character niya from AEW or wherever they came from, yung parang carry over dito sa WWE, diba? Cody Rhodes, American Nightmare, diba? That was fleshed out in AEW. Ricky Saints, diba? Was, you know, basically absolute Ricky Starks, and he's basically the same guy. All ego, Ethan Page, diba?
Sean Spears, yung chairman.
No, I would argue that that's a different character.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
I would do say the same. Yeah.
Right.
Only the name is the same.
Hi,
Pero,
okay,
diba,
speaking of, sorry, there we go. That's what I was wanting to say. I am no longer sure who gets a name change and who gets to keep their name. And it is driving me up the wall.
I love this. I love this because I also don't know what to say.
Diba? Parang, shit, Mariah May wasn't popular enough. She was a women's champion. And she doesn't get to keep her name.
What does Ethan Page have?
What does Sean Spears have? Like, why didn't Sean Spears go back to being Ty Dillinger?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I know just as much as you do, which is absolutely nothing. Would be a good question though to ask, no, for whoever, but
Shawn Michaels.
That's not for Emil. Pakitanong nga kay Boss HBK.
Pakitanong sa kanya. Bakit natin pinatan yung pangalan ni Mariah May?
Si Emil ang makakaalam. Siya makakasagot para sa atin. Okay, last na. Overtime na tayo rito. Let's show some love to Jasper Troy. Holy crap. Laking mamaw pucha. That main event match against Oba Femi was, as Big E would say, big meaty men slapping meat. And the way that Jasper Troy just put a beating on Oba Femi basically from the start of the episode really established him as someone to watch out for.
Yeah, you know what? I wanted him to win. I wanted them.
That's why I kept this. That's why I wanted to talk about this.
I wanted them to drop the title on day one to Jasper Troy.
Oh, gago.
Because if you watch LFG, you know how dominating this guy is, and how he's more than a monster or a monster, as Booker T says. So I liked how they really made him look dominant. I wish they did drop the title though, because that would have been one hell of a way to end NXT.
Oh, nagmukhang mortal si Oba Femi.
Yeah, dude. Oba Femi was sorry, Emil. Really quickly. Oba Femi looked super generous in making Jasper Troy look, look like a man who is bigger than him, and very few are bigger than Obafemi. Diba? And I felt like there was a major wasted opportunity to not give him the championship. Like, yes, gets gonna green pa siya, but still, it's the fucking NXT championship, guys. We can pass that thing around. It's not like we're giving the WWE championship to Brock Lesnar in 2002. I would have really wanted him to solidify yung mythos ni Jasper Troy by having him beat Obafemi convincingly.
I really thought Jasper Chow was gonna win the title when I was watching this. Not gonna lie, but yeah, I think he takes it off Oba in a rematch. I mean, like the next, ano ba yung next event?
Great American Bash.
Yeah, I think he takes it off Oba then.
Mm-hmm.
A rematch is definitely in the books here, I think, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really appreciated how, yung nga, as Rose said, ang generous si Obafemi in making Jasper Troy look like a hell of a monster. Yung fall from grace, hindi magawa ni Obafemi the first time, diba? It looked like a spine buster. So, in terms of like the storytelling of the match, like ganun ka pagod, ganun ka sugatan si Obafemi na hindi niya magawa yung fall from grace. So, good stuff, really good stuff. And I think we're at a point where NXT really is back. Like, sure, it's not the black and gold era, but it's also like way more than what we got in 2.0.
Oh, yeah. It's a mixture of two. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yun. Jasper Troy, babyface producer Jasper Troy for NXT champ, sabi ni MJ in the comments.
You should be proud, Jasper.
Tama lang
Kaya
eh,
mo
napalitan niya yung I Love You solo, diba? So tama na yan. Babyface producer Jasper Troy.
Yeah, diba?
No, you should be proud of your Katokayo. He's that good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be so much worse. All right, let's get to some plugs as we wind down here. Chino, what's going on?
Yeah, this weekend I will be sharing the stage with a few people from Comedy Manila. That is tomorrow, September today, June 13 at the Brick Wall BGC. Tickets are still very much available. It'll be myself, Stanley Chi, Jeannie Lakay, Diana Aaron Ong, Dur Febrado, and a lot more people at Brick Wall BGC. That's at 8:30 p.m. ComedyManila.ph. Also, I will be with the Cool Pals at ToyCon this Sunday. So if you see me or any one of us there, don't be afraid to do a little hello, a little wavy wave. Also, the Class Clown podcast is still out there, still going strong. Please listen to all the episodes. They are out now. My latest episode with Mark Colanta, aka Harry Roque, is still out. Please listen to that as well. For everything that I do, linktr.ee/Chino Supersized.
Ikaw, Emil.
Wala naman. Wala akong plug. Just follow the podcast on all social media platforms. Subscribe to Patreon and Gank. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Ro?
Puso Wrestling Show on July 6. Don't know the name yet. It has not been revealed, and don't. This time it's not pay what you can. So if you had a problem with pay what you can, then now you get to pay actual money. So please go support us. So yeah, stay tuned for more announcements and who's going to be on the. Obviously, the main event is Main Max versus Robin Sane for the Pusong Pinoy Wrestling Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And stay tuned to see if Mr. C will finally show up again.
Whoa. For me naman, PBA Philippine Cup, the playoffs are happening. I believe they start on Wednesday, June 18. So I'm going to be there as the quarterfinals kickoff, doing game experience. But sa June 25, ako rin yung nakatoka doon. Wala pang announcement on the venues. Hindi ko pa rin alam kung saan. So just stay tuned to whatever I post, I guess, on social media. And whatever the PBA posts as well. Make sure to follow the show at Wrestling Podcast, at Wrestling 2X Pod, depending on whichever platform you're at. Individually, it is at Chino Supersized, at EML_Meister, at Rois War, at Monday Night Rowan, and at _Stan C. Thank you very much to Babyface producer Jasper and everyone over at the Pod Network for all of their help behind the scenes. And thank you for catching another episode of the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. For Ro Moran, Chino Liao, and Emil Nate, I'm Stan C, reminding everyone to stay safe, stay dry, and don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast. Out. Later, Outcasts.
Peace.